the Chair of the RCMRD Governing Council, here present, Excellencies, members of the Diplomatic Corps, here present, PS, Minister of Lands, Housing and Urban Development for Kenya in absentia, but also my PS for Minister of Lands from Malawi, other permanent secretaries here present from member states, esteemed delegates from member states, the development partners, Director General from DCRMD, Dr. Emmanuel Nkurunziza, but also the former director here present, Dr. Fata, all invited guests, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen. Hamjambo. Good afternoon. I bring you warm greetings from the government and the people of Malawi. I also bring you salutation from fellow ministers from other member states that form the RCMRD Conference of Ministers. I have stepped in to deliver this address on behalf of the current chairperson of the Conference of Ministers, my counterpart from the Republic of Zambia, who had planned to be here, but got challenged by last-minute urgent issues to attend to. Besides being a member of the apex organ of this institution, my country, Malawi, is designated as its next chair after Zambia. We also happen to be one of the 5 founding member states, which makes this occasion of utmost importance to my country. Esteemed ladies and gentlemen, it is therefore a great honor and a privilege for me to address you today as the guest of honor as we mark an extraordinary milestone, the Golden Jubilee of the Regional Center for Mapping of Resources for Development. Ladies and gentlemen, to start with, allow me to extend my sincere gratitude to the government of the people of Kenya for the hospitality extended to me and my delegation from the time I arrived at the airport until now. Talk of the delicious food that we've had, the friendly smiles that we see across, but also the traditional dances that we had a time to sample. This has been the case over the years for the different Malawi delegations that have come to Nairobi over the years on RCMRD business, and we really want to thank you so much as Malawi. Ladies and gentlemen, 50 years ago, RCMRD was born out of a visionary belief that collaboration among African nations, supported by the power of geospatial science and other Earth observation technologies, could transform our continent's approach to development. That belief still stands today and stands stronger and is still more relevant and more urgent than ever before. Esteemed ladies and gentlemen, from its founding in 1975, RCMRD has walked a journey defined by commitment, innovation, and transformation. In its early years, the center focused on training and map production to support land and resource management. However, over time, it expanded its scope into a multidisciplinary center of excellence, having grown from the 5 founding member states, and that is Uganda, Kenya, Somalia, Malawi, and indeed Tanzania, to now the current 20 member states plus other 7 non-contracting states. And through decades of evolution, RCMRD became a trusted partner to our governments, supporting everything from land tenure regularization to agriculture monitoring, climate resilience, and disaster preparedness. It has built a generation of professionals across Africa who have gone on to lead national and continental geospatial programs. And today, RCMRD stands as one of Africa's premier centers in Earth observation, geoinformation science, and remote sensing, providing data, insights, and the tools that inform policy frameworks on climate change, land management, urban development and administration, agriculture, biodiversity conservation, and indeed disaster risk reduction. Esteemed delegates, through programs aligned with the Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, RCMRD is empowering nations to, among others, monitor forest cover and carbon emissions, but also track land degradation. Further to that, improve food security through crop forecasting, and indeed enhance climate resilience through early warning systems. And these contributions are not theoretical, but they're actually tangible. They influence national policies, shape special plans, support emergency response, and guide investment decisions across the region. Ladies and gentlemen, as we look to the future, the RCMRD vision of 2050 provides a broad blueprint to become a continental geospatial hub, driving inclusive development, digital innovation, and regional integration. This vision is aligned with Agenda 2063, the Africa we want, as well as key global frameworks such as the Paris Agreement, the Sendai Framework for Disaster Risk Reduction, and indeed the Global Biodiversity Framework. Ladies and gentlemen, RCMRD must continue to evolve as a center of excellence that supports Africa's response to complex and emerging challenges. And these include climate extremes and environmental degradation. Further to that, urban population growth and infrastructure demands, cross-border risks and migration, but also the need to localize real-time open data governance, among others. And the future demands that we invest more in Earth observation for decision-making, strengthen policy science linkages, and bring space-based technologies into the hands of communities and policymakers. Esteemed delegates, ladies and gentlemen, in the next 50 years, our collective focus should be on strengthening the existing partnerships, creating new opportunities to ensure that we have a sustainable organization that should be able to utilize contemporary technological advancements to provide viable solutions to the people we commit to save. The generation before us provided a basis for shared commitment to the Africa cause, and we're extremely grateful to our countries, our leadership at that particular time. And we therefore have a duty as existing leadership in the different member states to maintain the legacy of our founding fathers who rightly believed in Africa's solutions to the African problems that we have and that we have. I therefore call upon leaders at different levels to attempt to offer whatever may be in their means to ensure that our member states support RCMRD in its continued efforts to execute its mandate. But also, most importantly, our development partners to continue collaborating with RCMRD in capacity building, innovation, and indeed knowledge transfer. And perhaps lastly, and our only African institutions to work collaboratively to mainstream geospatial data into governance, planning, public service delivery, as seen by the Prof here. Ladies and gentlemen, as I wind up, on behalf of the RCMRD community, I wish to thank the government of Kenya for graciously opening or hosting the RCMRD and indeed providing a conducive environment for the past 5 decades. And we look forward to the same, another 5 decades ahead and indeed times to come. We applaud the Governing Council for its stewardship, and we do recognize and appreciate the dedication of the RCMRD management and staff, both the past and the present, for running the center and keeping it true to its founding ideals. Ladies and gentlemen, let this Golden Jubilee be not just a moment of celebration, but a catalyst for renewed commitment, regional solidarity, and a visionary action. With these few remarks, happy 50th anniversary RCMRD, happy. Long live RCMRD, long live. I thank you for your attention.